but she also has the sweetest little howl when sirens. Oh, Whitley, she's such a. I just love dogs so much. I didn't want to get there. I thought
Just
about going
saying,
there.
not that anybody asked.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Okay.
We're going to title this "Our Professor Was Wrong."
So I just really appreciated the power of film, and that's what got me into it. And I thought I can get it. I can do that. I can make films. YouTube can make films. Anyway, so yeah, that was what.
Hey there, welcome back to Pester the Professor.
A show where we get to know our professors outside of the classroom.
And we will be back right after this.
Welcome back. Today, we are here with the boss at the base, the editing wizard, Dr. Mark von Schlemmer.
Welcome.
Glad to be here. I'm very. I've been excited about this all semester.
Yeah.
About coming and talking to you all. So.
That's good. That's good. We're so ready to nail down these questions, to get to know more about you. Outside of the classroom.
Sorry if we got your hopes up.
Oh, well, no, it's okay. I'm willing to. I'm open. Where do you get these questions from?
I think
we just kind of sat down one day and we're like, so what are all the things that we could just like start bothering people
What
with?
would pester the professors the most?
right, exactly.
Okay,
Right.
well,
Yeah.
that's fair. That's kind of the gist of what I've gotten out of those shows I've seen so far. So.
Well, that's good.
Great.
To start us off.
Okay.
Who are you?
Well, you just introduced me.
But you didn't know those names.
Dr. Mark von Schlemmer. No, I didn't come up with editing wizard. I'm an editing wizard. I'm a full professor here at UCM. I'm in my 15th year here. On one of my what do they call signatures on I have Dr. Mark von Schlemmer, whatever. But on my other one, I have filmmaker, bass player, and I don't know. I think I have something else there. Maybe something about being vegan, something like that. So that's my casual thing that I just throw out there when people ask.
Vegan.
So
Is vegan by choice, or is it like a diet?
it is by choice. I would love to talk with you about that.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
So that's it's kind of one of those things that film helped me arrive at too. The final decision to remove all animal products as best I can from my life was. It's a silly story because it has to do with the movie of all things, Driving Miss Daisy. But anyway, yes, it's by choice. It's an ethical choice, and ever since then I've learned that it's also a very healthy choice, and it's better for this earth, and the earth needs a whole lot of help, just like the animals do, the non-human animals do. So, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that actually, because this just kind of goes back into this question.
All right.
So, what is your favorite food?
That's how it's going to go. Well, I brought for the crew today. I brought some Newman-Os, which are Paul Newman's version of Oreos. Chocolate chip cookies are really high on the list, and I make pretty darn good. I'm told vegan chocolate chip cookie, even gluten-free chocolate chip cookie, because for my gluten-free friends. It has chocolate. I love chocolate. People think, oh, I can't have chocolate. That'd be tough. It's like, no, of course, dark chocolate. I love dark chocolate. I'm a pizza fan too. I like pizza a lot. There's some good non-dairy cheeses out there. Good veggies. I like the veggies on it. Give me a black olive and mushroom pizza with.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's good.
I'm kind of a sucker for that. So.
Have you learned how to make a bunch of different foods in different ways?
I have so much more since I became vegan. So I've been vegetarian for 35 years, and then vegan for 25. I kind of learned more and kind of arrived at that right around the turn of the century. And I eat so much more food, I probably eat more food too, but much more variety, and I'm much more creative with food because I would just be really lazy back when I would just, I ate a lot of eggs and cheese when I first became vegetarian. It's like, then I learned, that's not really the healthiest thing, and it's really kind of hard on the animals. So, but yeah, all kinds of things. I mean, I do like tofu. I like because tofu kind of, however you season it, has great different flavors.
Oh, yeah.
I eat a lot of East Asian food, Chinese, Thai food. I don't make that at home, but I eat out a lot, so I have a lot of that. Beans and lentils, and I make a pretty darn good ginger lentil garlic soup kind of thing that I really kind of make and last for a week or something like that. So,
Sounds pretty good.
but
That's
it
nice.
really, it doesn't look that different. There's a lot of good substitutes these days. I don't always love some of those substitutes. I occasionally go to Burger King for an Impossible Whopper, but that's not healthy in any way, shape, or form. It just happens to be generally vegan. So,
That's fair. I think I tried tofu the first time this year.
Oh my
Actually,
gosh.
yeah, we had like that and put them in like rice wraps, some bean sprouts.
yeah, like
That was
good stuff.
good.
Yeah.
I was really skeptical. I really didn't think it would taste that great.
It's such a generic food that just takes on whatever flavor you put
Yeah.
with it. So then you decide, well, what flavor? I like garlic sauce, or I like soy sauce, or whatever, and it takes on the flavor. And if you cook it just right, and
Yeah. Do
good
you like
stuff,
tofu?
good stuff.
I think so. Well, okay, so as long as they're seasoned right, because I've
Yeah, that's it.
also like ordered a lot of things where like, because I've never made tofu, I've always like thought about like, oh, maybe I should actually try
Yeah.
cooking
You just
more things.
like a stir fry. Put
But-
it into stir
Yeah.
fry, and the same things you'd put into stir fry, a little
Yeah.
soy sauce or ginger and garlic or something like that, and it takes on that flavor, and it's tasty, and it's kind of pretty healthy. So.
Yeah.
It is pretty healthy.
I wonder if just the ones that I've ordered just weren't very flavorful. Because some of them weren't very good, but some of them
Yeah.
are really good.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, it's like any food. You could do it badly, or you can
Yeah.
do it well.
You can.
that's
all right.
just me in the kitchen
Yep,
every
yep.
day. It's never gonna taste very good. So
Do you have a?
What's up? What do you have for me,
yeah.
Leilani? Leilani has colored her hair to match my shirt today. That was really
Sure.
nice. I thought that was very
yeah,
very nice.
yeah.
Appreciate that.
I knew last week that this was gonna happen exactly how it was. So I had to go ahead and
Yeah,
match you
yeah.
because but
I
why aren't you matching?
appreciate that.
We all
This is
gotta
what
be
I wear
purple.
every day.
So we're matching as well.
Yeah,
I've seen
yeah.
you without that hat on.
That's right.
That berserk hat.
I was more mean like the color,
Oh.
but I don't think you've ever seen me in a different color before. I
Maybe.
sometimes
Even
I
the
will.
different colors.
Yeah.
I feel like,
You've
especially
probably
this.
seen
But
it.
it's a hip thing to be in black, so I get
It's a
that.
hip-
Even since Johnny Cash invented it, it's been
Johnny
hip.
Cash.
The Man in Black.
Hmm?
He's my gosh.
If I listen to Johnny Cash, I destroy
Johnny
everything in
Cash,
sight.
the Man in Black. He's literally known as the Man in Black. He was a country singer, and he sang to people in prisons and things like that.
Why
and
do I feel like I'm thinking of the wrong person?
You probably are.
I probably am.
You're probably thinking
Yeah.
of. I don't even know, but I
No.
think I know who you're
he
thinking
passed
of.
away a few years ago, but he has a daughter.
Yeah.
And
Rest in
anyway,
peace.
I think I'm thinking of the wrong person. Anyways,
Yes,
next up, so
moving
we were
on.
talking about
What was your
food.
question?
We were talking about things. What's your favorite animal?
Oh, I'm such an animal enthusiast that it's hard to say what my. I mean, I have two animal companions that live at home with me
Yeah.
that are cats, and they are the sweetest cats in the world. I'm a pacifist, but I will argue about how sweet my cats are if you try to argue. So I'm a fat guy, but I'm really, if you had to say, I'm more of a dog guy than a cat guy. And my girlfriend
Okay.
has this very sweet dog named Whitley, who is just the sweetest thing. Is this time? Can I do this?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
go
can.
ahead.
So Whitley is the sweetest dog. If we ever see a picture of her, you would have to agree. But she also has the sweetest little howl when sirens. Oh, Whitley, she's such a. I just love dogs so much. They just, and they seem to love humans so much, and that's part of what's endearing. Again, so, but if I were going to be an animal, I mean, I would be a human because I am an animal and I'm
You
human.
beat us to the question.
But if you probably meant a non-human animal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So other than
I mean,
other
we're
than
all a little bit
Yeah.
of an animal.
Like
Yeah.
so-
if you were an animal,
other than human.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I've heard one person on here get into a whole discussion about werewolves and wolfmen and things like that.
Yeah, I
Those are
wonder
clearly
where you
not,
got
if
that
you're saying
from.
what non-human animal you'd like me to be, I'd like to be, I couldn't pick one of those because they're partly human, right? So
Yeah.
werewolf, wolfman, whatever Newsom was trying to claim, he was crazy.
Yeah, name dropping. Look at that,
Yeah,
Newsom.
yeah.
Wow.
Well, he's I kind of watch which way Eric goes, and then I try to zigzag.
Go completely
I'm
opposite.
a big ape fan.
Yeah.
Ape?
And
Okay.
so I'm torn between. I like gibbons. I'm going to do a gibbon sound.
I think I know. Yeah.
They make a cool sound and they brachiate, and that's really cool.
Oh.
You can look it up at home what that means. I used to brachiate some in college. If you're in a right kind of environment, some poles you can hang on. Breakgate, look it up. It's nothing gross. Don't be weird. But really, gorillas are really kind of my favorite. So gorillas
fair,
have
that's
life. They're
fair.
mostly they're vegetarian.
Yeah.
They
They're
kind of
strong.
just big guys, and they just kind of hang out in the jungles,
Okay.
and they're
True.
pretty gentle giants. Some of them even know sign language. I'd have to learn some sign language. I don't know much sign language, but Coco the gorilla was always one of my heroes. Jane Goodall was one of my heroes. She's not a gorilla or an ape. Well, she's an ape. She's a great ape. She's a human. But she worked with chimpanzees and things like that. We learned that chimpanzees are a little mean sometimes, so I'm
Yeah,
not sure a chimpanzee.
about that.
But gorillas were just sweet. Diane Fossey worked with the gorillas. And
Okay.
that was one of my goals as a kid. I just want to go live with these guys and hang out and study them and stuff and be
So
their
fun.
friends.
You should. Maybe if you change career paths.
I
you
might.
should-
Maybe in
Yeah.
retirement, I'll go join the gorillas,
Go join the
lowland
gorillas.
gorillas in the Congo and hang out. That
That
would be
sounds
fun.
like a good
I would like that.
plan.
They like look out and they just see you're just with the
I'm
gorillas.
just hanging out. Here are the gorillas, and there's a human.
And
What's he doing there?
I don't know what he's doing.
Musician, editor, professor.
I
now
once claimed that I would
living
vote
with the
for apes.
gorillas.
I would vote for apes for office. I
You know,
never
fair.
have had a chance to vote for anything other than a human for office. But gorillas were running. I think they're kind of peaceful kind of guys. They can be big, but they're not ferocious.
Okay.
That's so fair.
I've probably
That's-
answered too much on that question.
No,
I probably
no,
revealed a little
that-
bit too much.
The more
that down.
information, the better.
Hmm.
But I mean, so in this scenario, you can't be a gorilla. Hate to break it to you.
Oh God!
Would
You're gonna make me do another one?
yeah.
Another animal?
It's just so
We
close
just-
to human. you know?
Yeah. It's like
Yeah, you're kind of
just
right.
so
like,
similar.
Wait, do you have one already that you
Yeah,
would
what are
think
you
that
gonna
he'd
be? What would you be, Leilani?
No. What you would?
For
What
you?
she'd
Oh, what
be.
you think I should?
Yeah,
What do you
yeah.
think I would be?
I feel like you'd be a crane. I don't know. Maybe that's just what I. Maybe not. Hang on. Let me think of another one. Maybe not a crane.
I don't know
Honestly,
what
my
maybe-
first thought was a squirrel, but
A squirrel. I'm just thinking of something like, cause you're really tall, so maybe something like taller
Than a squirrel.
than a squirrel.
Something
I say
taller than a
squirrel
squirrel. That's what
because
we're going for.
here's the thing. I don't have issues with squirrels.
Oh, I
think they're great. They
squirrels
just
in my
run
yard, they're very
everywhere.
cute.
They're all over the
Yeah,
place, and
yeah.
they're always entertaining
The
because
ones
they're
and the
just
ones
everywhere.
on campus are
That's
just like
true.
the friendliest. They don't seem very worried about humans whatsoever. You can
No,
walk right past them. It's
yeah.
like, oh, well, I didn't mean to step on you.
Yeah.
They're
It just
all-
tried to pick one up. It didn't work though.
Oh,
Ooh, I
they
wouldn't-
run away from me. I
No,
wish I
that's-
could pick one up.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
they're kind of cute. But
Anyways, I wasn't talking about a squirrel. What kind
So-
of cat would you be?
what kind of cat? Oh, I mean, being a cat would not be bad. My cats really have it made. They just kind of hang out in the window and watch
Yeah.
birds and things like that. I've heard that there's a question between a black cat and an orange cat.
Well,
and-
which one would you be?
Well, I think black cats are cool. I mean, anyone who wears black all the time is cool, much like Johnny Cash and Addie, sure.
Thanks.
But I've had known more orange cats, and one of my cats, one of the sweetest cats in the world, is Lily, and she's orangish gray, I would say. Not everyone agrees that she's gray and orange.
Not
I think
everyone.
she is.
We won't get into that. But yeah, she is very sweet and a little bit orange. And I have red hair, so I had a companion animal, orange cat, years ago. I know it's red. I have red hair. Golly, can't you see it? Oh, that story.
You're right.
I said that in
I
class
see
one
it.
day, and
I
someone
do see
said,
it, yeah.
"You have red hair." It's like, it
It's
wasn't
like
always gray.
almost complimentary with like the purplish blue and
Yeah,
like the red. Yeah, I
Used
see
to be
it.
much.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. So I would be if an orange striped cat. That's
Okay.
what I would
Orange.
be.
Yeah,
I think we agreed with.
Yeah, that you were
orange.
gonna be orange.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, they always seem more friendly. Black cats, they have a little more attitude. I think I have
Exactly.
less
That's why
attitude
Newsom
than
was one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course he was. Right.
Yeah, of course he.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your astrology sign? This is not like any segue into it, but
Are you asking me what my sign is?
Yeah. what is your astrology sign?
Oh, astrology sign.
Mm-hmm.
What do
Yeah.
you mean? Like
Like the
I always like
zodiac?
Neptune. Neptune is a nice planet.
So not
What do you?
Maybe a little
like your
different than
birth.
that.
What scientific
Like-
aspect are you talking about here?
Like
What,
the-
what
your
kind of
astrology
zodiac.
birth sign.
Astrology. I'm not familiar with
cons-
astrology.
You
When-
were
when-
you were
when's your
literally joking.
birthday?
Let me pick
Are you
up,
actually being serious?
Let me pick up my water bottle here and take a drink.
I feel like I'm being.
Are we trying? Are we having to try and like figure? Wait, Neptune. Okay, hang on. Let me get my phone out.
Not Neptune. It's water. I'm a Aquarius. Whatever the
dang it.
heck.
What?
Wait,
whatever
but
the
like
heck.
Aquarius
Neptune.
isn't even a water
The
sign.
planets
They
are
carry
also
water.
connected
It's
with.
a water carrier. What a
I
dumb sign
think this
that
is
is.
really dumb because like
Now I
people
gotta
say
see.
that it's an air sign because I'm also an Aquarius and I'm like, wait, when's your birthday?
January 20th. I
Oh,
hesitated
right,
there
yeah.
for a second. Couldn't feel that. It's the
What
same
is
day
it,
as
Amy?
Joe Moore's. We have the same birthday. I'm on the
well,
cusp.
that's a fun fact.
But I just, I badger Eric Newsom a bit, but he gave a good answer to this. I don't really believe in any of that stuff, but if it's a way to get you to think introspectively about yourself,
That's so true.
I think that's important. I think it's good to think about who you are and what you bring to the world, and if that's what astrology does for you, I promise you it does nothing more than that. But
That's fair. It's also the planet isn't Neptune. That is in
Connected.
correlation. Yeah, it's
Oh,
Uranus,
yeah.
but that's okay.
I didn't want to get there. I thought
Just
about going
saying,
there.
not
I
that
thought
anybody asked,
yeah.
but-
Well, thank you. Okay.
We're going to
just
title
so you
this,
know.
Our Professor Was Wrong.
I just like the
kidding,
colors.
just kidding.
The
What's
colors. It's
wrong
a
with
greenish blue planet. I like the greenish blue.
It is no,
Yeah.
it is a really pretty.
It is
planet.
nice.
Maybe it
Pretty
has a little
planet.
purple in it. Maybe we'll see.
If you had the chance to go to space, would you?
Ooh, I think I would. I always wanted to as a kid. I don't think I want to go to Mars with Elon Musk, to be honest.
Has he
For
gone to
various
Mars?
Trying to go to
reasons.
Mars?
He's going to get to Mars.
Oh.
Thanks. We hope he goes to Mars. Anyway, let's not go there. No, I think I would. I don't know. There's, you pass through this time. As a kid, I wanted to go to space. That would be cool. I saw the moon landing. I mean, I was watching it on TV with my family. It was great. And then there's this period where it's like, I don't know that I want to go out. It's kind of scary and stuff. And then now I'm back to like, I've had a good life. Sure, let's go to space.
Did you want to be an astronaut as a kid?
I kind of did.
Is that what you were like, this is what I want to be when I grow up?
I never had any idea what I wanted to do. People would ask that. I had no idea. Even when I came to college, I had no idea. I didn't declare a major till I was enrolling for my senior year.
That's fair.
And I picked English, creative writing, because I had taken some English classes. I like to read. I like to write. Oh, hey, I can finish in 4 years if I do that. And of course, then I went 4 more years and then 8 more years when I came back for a PhD. So I ended up in film, but I had no idea what I wanted to do.
What brought you into film then?
When I was working on my creative writing degree at the University of Kansas, I had a friend who was majoring in film, and I thought, you could do that? I didn't know you could do
My
that.
thoughts too.
And I was like, oh, cool. And so when I got into the master's program in English, and I was like, I just had to do a bunch of literature stuff. And it's like, well, I like science fiction novels and fantasy books and stuff. And so I don't know if they're going to let me study that. But this film thing is interesting. So I always liked film, always watched TV. And a few years later, I had watched films that changed my life, as I kind of alluded to earlier. And so I just really appreciated the power of film, and that's what got me into it. And I thought, I can get it. I can do that. I can make films. You too can make films. Anyway, so yeah, that was what got me there.
What film embodies your aesthetic and your vibe? Do you think?
Boy, there's so many. I'm a big fan of Harold and Maude, but that's got a interesting aesthetic, and that really has a young guy dating a much older woman, and I don't think that was it. But it had music by Cat Stevens, and I liked Cat Stevens early on. I really like Cat Stevens' music. There's a lot of movies that I see and I think, I wish I had. I'm tapping the. I also know how mics work. I'll stop now. I know. Sorry, guys. There's a lot of movies I wish I had made. For instance, I show Win-Win in my class.
That's a good one.
And
think
it's
I've seen
just a
that.
well-constructed film about a guy who's trying to do well in the world, but then makes some bad choices and pays some price for it and comes around. And so I really like that. A couple good Tom McCarthy films out there. I'm trying to think about the last film I really watched and said, I wish I had made that. I can't think of them. There's a few vampire films, I think. I mean, no one has seen The Hunger anymore. But you put David Bowie and you put Catherine
Hunger's
Deneuve
so
and
good.
Susan Sarandon in a film.
So
And you make
good.
it artsy and cool music by Bauhaus. And just, that was kind of cool. That'd be kind of cool, though it's kind of scary at times. But it's not as scary as it is artful.
What is the one that has who plays Loki? Tom.
Oh, yeah.
Him, and then
Oh,
do you know what I'm talking
is
about?
that Lovers Left Alive? No Lovers
Yeah,
Left Alive?
yeah.
That's a cool one. That's pretty
I
interesting.
haven't gotten to see that one yet.
It's
and
an
I really
interesting
want to see
one.
that.
There's some
Another
cool vampire
movie.
movies out there.
I
Yeah,
have not
yeah.
seen
I'll
this
hook
either.
you up with all
Yeah.
these vampire movies.
No Lovers Left Alive. I think that's what that one's called.
Yeah.
It's got that one person in it too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That one
Did you ever
person.
watch Narnia?
No.
Milani.
Okay, here's the thing. I've told everybody this because I might be in digital media, but
You don't
Yeah.
watch films.
I haven't watched a lot of films. We didn't watch a lot of films growing up
That's
because
fair.
we only had a couple CDs, and there was only to keep my brother and I quiet on road trips.
You mean DVDs?
DVDs, yes.
She's not even sure the medium. Interesting.
All right, I failed.
We'll
guys.
title
Yeah,
this.
yeah. I gotta go change some
Later.
grades really quick here.
We'll title the show Leilani.
In the comments, which one?
Yeah.
Who was wrong?
Who was
was
wrong?
it me or Mark?
Who was wrong and who was right?
Fair enough.
But yeah, I just don't know a lot of movies, and so like some of the
The charm
questions
is
we were like,
they're
what's your
all of-
favorite? What's your least favorite movie?
See,
I'm
I
like,
can't say I've seen the favorite because that's because
Yeah.
I have all kinds of films.
Is
to
there a
love.
genre that you're like, no, I really don't like that?
Oh, I don't like the slasher horror stuff. I mean,
Fair.
I don't
Same.
mind being scared in a film, but I don't need to see blood and guts and stuff. I am a sucker for science fiction, though. I mean, I can watch even kind of a bad science fiction movie and still have fun if it's got space and aliens or changes. Part of it is because it offers interesting views of what the world could be. And we're currently living in a time where it feels like we're in a science fiction movie. You know,
True.
We're not quite post-apocalyptic yet, but we're pre-apocalyptic.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. Boy, it'll be exciting for movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Silent Running is an old science fiction film that's got a nice environmental message that I kind of love. Bruce Dern is great in it. The best robots in a movie ever, really. They preceded the Star Wars robots, and Huey, Dewey, and Louie, these great robots. So check it out. Silent Running.
Speaking of aliens.
I was
Speaking
gonna
of
say
aliens.
that too.
All right, cool,
yeah.
cool. That was you gave me a deep look there.
I had to set
Yes.
it up. So, do you believe in aliens? Are there other creatures out there?
In
Have you seen
movies?
the UFOs? Have you been abducted before?
No.
Oh.
Not that I
No,
know of.
that's
I mean,
all.
what I know.
All right,
But,
next question.
But in movies, there are lots of aliens.
Yeah. But do you
and
believe
of course, there's got to be other intelligences out there. I don't think they're really visiting Earth. The
Fair.
science, to me, shows that very unlikely are they communicating with us. I think we're weird enough here that we can perceive things or think we
Yeah.
perceive things. I think it'd be nice. I think we could get some wisdom from someone who hasn't been on this earth and seen the things that we've done to this earth. I think
It's true.
it would be hard to imagine them being very nice to us, because think of how nice we are to animals.
That's true.
Most of them we're not very nice to. So that's a little worrisome. If an alien came to, I might have a script on this. If anyone wants to make a movie about aliens coming to Earth and say, well, but what are you doing to those cows? Why would you do that? And
Yeah.
why wouldn't they do that to us? It's like, you seem like a lower life form.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I don't.
No?
I just don't. I'm kind of a sciencey guy.
That's fair.
I believe in our own brains and the ability to imagine things and to manifest things in the sense that we can help make things happen. But I don't really think
Can
there's
I-
much supernatural forces. I'm not really in.
Can I tell you a ghost story that I experienced? It'll make it quick. I'll make it
If you
quick.
can make it quick,
Yeah.
because I don't want to
When
lose time, because I know you have some more good questions for me.
Whenever I was about, I'd say 6 or 7, I used to wake up frequently. Like, I mean, that's just kind of a kid thing. I used to sleepwalk as well a lot. And I had a bunk bed with my younger sister in our room, and I remember getting up from the top bunk and seeing something in the mirror. I do remember it being kind of similar to like my height.
I'm sorry, it was in a mirror?
Yeah, sorry. The way that my bed was set up, it was across from our closet, and the closet doors were like mirrors that we could slide back and forth. So I looked into the mirror, and I didn't see it like where I was. I only saw it in the mirror, and I saw a silhouette of a girl. So I got down. I wasn't freaked out. I got down, and I went to my mom, and I woke her up, and I was like, hey, the little girl in the mirror won't stop talking to me.
Whoa,
So
that's a little
the
spooky.
next day, she bought curtains to hang over the mirror. So
What a
then
good
I
mother.
would stop.
That's a good answer.
I would stop talking
gosh.
about
Well,
it.
just hide that.
But I mean, I don't think after that I ever really experienced anything. But I just said it so nonchalantly, and I'm not making this up. She said She said that's what I said.
I don't not believe that you thought you saw that.
It's just
Absolutely.
weird.
That's
But
creepy.
I don't know. I feel
mirrors
like
can
kids
do weird
can.
things, but yeah, no.
can see weird things.
Yeah, could be. Again,
Did I
don't
convert
claim
you?
to know it all, but
Do you believe now?
I do. I believe you saw
Yes.
something in that mirror.
Good. Good.
See, I
Could have
can't
been
even say
a
whether I
reflection.
believe or not. I
No?
don't know.
Well,
Well,
have you
okay,
ever had an experience?
well, kind of. So, like, my mom's side of the family is a little funny, and so I think this is just because, like, I haven't experienced the things that, like, my mom has, but, like, my mom has, like, experienced what she said, like, my great-grandma had, like, an exorcism. And so the entire
Whoa.
family had the exact same thing to say about it. And then whenever I'm over at my grandma's house, some things just start moving. We've had like remotes fly across the room and we're not touching it. So I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm always just curious. I'm like, what's happening? But I'm also easily freaked out. So if you tell me it's a ghost, I'm going to be scared and I'm not going to enter the room.
I used to live next to a cemetery. In fact, if you watch a show produced also by the DMP department, I sing a song about Greenwood Cemetery, the cemetery that's next door to where I grew up, and we used to walk around there at night, and it was kind of cool, and I never saw anything, and I never worried much about it, and I've never seen anything that I couldn't probably figure out was there, not really there, I'm just imagining it, or it was a reflection of something. Look in mirrors, I often see this red-haired guy, kind of grayish red hair,
kind of tall,
and he kind of just looks at me oddly, and I look back at him oddly, and then we just kind of shake our heads and walk away. So maybe
crazy.
Could be. It's hard to say.
That sounds like a ghost to me.
I was about to say.
I'm looking out one.
Sometimes it does feel like a ghost.
So if speaking of, well, this isn't really speaking of it, but fears. What's your biggest fear?
One's that is a fear something that you haven't realized, that you have yet to realize?
It could be either.
Because I've had a lot of fears this year.
We've had rational,
rational or irrational, just anything like that.
Fears. I don't have any specific ones. I'm not overly fond of snakes, and I know the facts and figures, but I can tell my body reacts before my brain does when I see a snake. It's very strange. Spiders, I don't mind. I can, my girlfriend and I have a nice little trade-off. She is not a fan of spiders, but she's fine with snakes. I'm not a fan of snakes. So I live in the country, and I get these little ring-neck snakes that are this big, and I'm not afraid of them because they're this big. They look like a worm.
Right.
But when I was taking one out one time with tongs and gloves and he's a cute little guy, and he wrapped around the tongs, and I felt like the hair on my neck just go, and it was like, wow, I'm not choosing this. This is just, it's like some instinctive thing. So I don't know, maybe my ancestors had a problem with the snake. I don't know. But even then, I know you're not gonna, not gonna hurt me, and if it's poisonous, I don't want to get bit. But so I don't think I have any major ones. I mean, I used to be a very timid person. As I have aged, if you can't tell, I've aged a bit. I have fewer fears. It's more just the worry about the world and how we treat each other, and I worry about people not thinking about how others feel. That's probably my biggest fear.
That's fair. That's a good.
That makes sense.
Not a good fear, but like a.
But like it makes sense.
An empathetic fear.
Yeah, I guess that's it. That's a good way of saying it. Empathetic fear.
Are you like afraid of like heights or like the ocean or anything like that?
No, I like the ocean. I've become less fond of heights in my older age, which I don't know. I never used to mind them, but it's kind of weird. It's like, oh no, I don't want to fall off that.
Right.
I don't like driving over bridges a lot. I'm a little nervous driving over bridges, but I think there's a height thing there. But I drive over bridges. I'm fine.
I know a lot of people who don't like bridges.
Yeah.
Like I'll just like go straight through it because I'm like, I just need to get to the other side. But then there's some people they'll like try to avoid it completely.
But I grip the wheel a little bit harder when I'm driving over it. I try not to say that to someone else if someone else is driving because they'll go, oh really? And I'm like, But it's just that idea. I mean, I've seen too many movies where cars go off bridges or something.
That's so fair.
But it's not. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
It's just stuck there.
That's interesting. Yeah, I don't think I actually think about certain fears I have until I'm actually put in the situation to where I'm like, oh yeah, I don't like that. Yeah. Like when you said bridges, that's not something that comes to my mind. I don't love going across bridges, and I think it's just like, the fear of like, this will just break, and I'll just go down.
Yeah, we know we don't always make good bridges. We know we have You've heard of bridges having problems. It's like, that's enough to make me think twice, but no big fears.
All right.
I'm intrigued by cemeteries more than afraid of them, for instance. So.
That's fair.
I don't think I've just freely ran through a cemetery. I think when I was little, we had a field trip where like during lunch we went and we sat at the cemetery, but then like
had a field trip in like elementary school. And you went to a cemetery.
I think.
Come on, kids.
Tell us about this field trip.
Now this may have been like middle school. I think it was probably for like our history club because we went to Union Station for like the Tutankhamun. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I forgot the name. But we went there. It was like the mummy. We went for that exhibit, and then we went for lunch. So I'm pretty sure that's when we went to the cemetery to eat food. And I don't know why they thought it was a good idea for us to take a group of kids there.
The cemetery.
And then they got mad at everyone because they're like, don't walk around the tombs. I'm like, don't take the kids to the cemetery. Like, I mean, I get it. You want us
They
to, like,
don't- they
stay
don't
put,
understand
but
that. Like, I
don't
mean-
take
Yeah,
us
yeah.
there. That was a bad idea.
That's pretty funny.
Uh,
Yeah.
What is your
Well.
deepest, darkest secret you're willing to share? I don't know if that's actually
The
how
deepest, darkest secret
Wait,
that will
yeah.
no longer be a secret when I'm done with
you is.
this.
Yeah.
yeah.
What is the deepest? Okay, maybe not darkest. I
Let
added
me-
that
let
part,
me-
but
Let me
deepest
say,
secret.
you think, can I rephrase this as what might come across as a secret that I keep from my students?
Is it deep and dark?
I don't know if it's deep and dark.
Is it like
I
your
was
security
that's
number?
fair, yeah.
here's it's not a secret to everyone,
Okay.
but I haven't done much with it for many years. I was a bit of an animal activist in the day, and I did some protests, and I
Really?
at one point after I left KU, the University of Kansas, where I went to school many times, many years, I went back and did a protest there where I got in a cage on the campus to show the size of the cage that chickens are in when they lay eggs and how mean we are to them. So, and some people at work where I worked at the TV station got the picture, was on the cover of the student newspaper, and at work
geez.
at Channel 5 they put it up on the couple windows in the in the newsroom. We're like, oh, look at this guy, that's one of our editors. I was like, yeah. One of the promotion producers, technically, but yeah. So I was a bit of an activist back in the day. I kind of got busy with other things. Now my activism is more. I occasionally make some films connected. There's ones I don't really show in class much, but or ever. A couple of them I don't show ever because they're a little radical. But one of them has at one point had like 10,000 views on YouTube back in the earlier days of YouTube.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean, I still
Okay.
believe that stuff, but I kind of lead by example more than preaching about it. I'm not sure that what's the most effective way. I think I'm kind of glad there are out there people protesting. James Cromwell going to Starbucks and saying you shouldn't charge extra for non-dairy milks, and things like
Yeah,
that. He
yeah.
literally chained himself to a Starbucks or something like that.
Really?
You go, James Cromwell.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was a little bit kind of radical in that sense, but. That's not a huge, deep, dark secret,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
not something I talk about because
No.
it doesn't seem relevant to classes other than I tell people to make films about things you care about, right? And I
Yeah.
think that's part of what I do kind of on the side. So I'm not, certainly the films I make with my friend, let me name drop, Kevin Wilmot. But we make social justice films. That's really kind of the kind of films I'm most interested in, ones that
Yeah.
kind of are trying to address things that are going on in the world and make people aware of them that they might not be. And so, but that kind of probably started with that activist stuff and then has manifested in other films. So,
Nice. Well, it's definitely something that not a lot of us know. So
Yeah.
I think that's
what I
interesting.
didn't know that.
But we have one last question for
all
you.
right, one last question.
And this
Hold on,
is.
no, go ahead.
Oh,
go
you
ahead.
gotta prepare. You gotta prepare
Yeah,
for this.
no, go ahead.
The question is, what is a piece of advice that you would like to leave with just any student, any of us, anybody that you know, may not know, people watching?
Andrew
just
or Ronan here or Icarus or
Yep.
Clayton or who else is up there? It just sounds cliche. Hold on. So what I want to say is if you're cold, put a scarf on because it's like a towel. It's a really handy to find your passion. There are those of us that have been very lucky, and I do feel very lucky, or you could call it blessed or fortunate or whatever fits your worldview, to have gotten to do a lot of the work I've done professionally and gotten paid for it is doing things that I care about. And teaching is part of that, and making films that I think are important to make and say something is part of that. But it becomes less like work, less task, if it's something you care about and you believe in. And you may not immediately see how you can make money doing that. My music is kind of like that too. I play in a couple bands in the last few years and make songs myself. I've never really made much money with that. I enjoy it. It's a great hobby, but I'm passionate about it, and so I enjoy it. And I'm not making songs about hateful things and things like that. There's not really always messages in all the music. Sometimes it's just music. But find stuff, but I didn't make money from that, so I didn't leave my job to go do that. But I do that because I'm passionate about it, just like I make films because I'm passionate about it. And so find that thing that you do. Digital media students, one of the things I try to emphasize is find what you want to do. You want to be a director, you want to be an editor, cinematographer, whatever. Find that area in digital media that you're most interested in doing, that you enjoy the most. I told this anecdote many times, but what I just learned is some of the video work I do is very mundane, some of the corporate freelance stuff I've done. But I like editing enough that I can edit anything. I have fun with it. That's why I'm an editing wizard, some people say. I don't say that. But I like it enough that I can do even kind of boring stuff with it. I'd rather do more exciting stuff, but that's okay. Sometimes you do work for money. But find what area, what moves you. Find your, and again, whether it's digital media or whatever, it's really fun to have a job where you enjoy it and you feel like you're contributing. And I certainly have contributed in some of the jobs and towards things I didn't care about as much, and I was learning my craft at that point, but I got around to doing things I really do enjoy. Teaching became one of those things, and making narrative films and documentary films. So I think everyone needs to find their, find your bliss.
With the passion.
Yeah, and not everyone's lucky enough to get a job doing that. And if you end up working at whatever, a coffee shop, and coffee's not your bliss, then find a bliss in your life, whether it's making music or art or whatever. Find something. I'm very artfully motivated. I wanted to be an artist all my life. And I couldn't draw, and I wasn't that great a musician or whatever, so I kind of found ways to use that. And so find what you're good at and turn it into something you like to do.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think everyone would be happier if they found things they like to do.
That is true.
And luckily, people like all kinds of things. And so we have people that are architects, and we have people that are baristas, and we have people that do all kinds of things, and that's great. It doesn't have to be perfect, but find some enjoyment in it.
Find your passion.
Find your passion.
Good advice.
Yeah. Thanks.
Well, that is all the time that we have for today.
I wore shoes, so if you ask me about shoes,
We forgot the
literally-
question.
I broke out shoes that have been in my closet for years because Earth shoes are the coolest shoes ever. And they don't make them anymore that I can find, and they're the most comfortable shoes.
I'm so sorry about that.
All right.
Is that your favorite shoe?
That's
okay.
the only problem.
Is that-
it
is-
is, but I can't find them like that anymore.
Oh.
Wear comfortable shoes. That's the other advice I give.
Comfortable shoes.
Life
Yes.
is too short to not wear comfortable shoes.
That's fair. Well,
Yep.
I'm glad. Actually, I'm really glad that you put that in there because I forgot about that.
The
that
shoe
question.
one, yeah, no,
Yeah.
I knew that was a
And you were
question.
prepared for that too.
Thank
See,
you.
I told you we were gonna mix it up on
I know, you did.
You're
You
gonna.
mixed it up.
Anyway, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
on this.
Thank
This
you
was
very
really
much. Thanks
fun.
for doing the show. It's fun.
Of course. Thanks so much, guys. I think we have another professor soon. I don't know. Anyway,
We'll probably have something.
Yeah.
But if not,
stay tuned and
Yeah.
look at Red Digital for other stuff. Anyway, that was really, really bad. We'll see you later.
see ya.